Hi, this is Mr. Clapp, the 7th grade life science teacher. Okay, why did you decide to be a teacher?
Why did I decide to be a teacher?
Yes.
When I graduated from, well, actually before I graduated from college, I worked in a laboratory in New York State. It was in Albany, at the New York State Department of Toxicology and Health, and it was like 5 stories underground, no windows, and they had the animal labs next door, so it really smelled pretty bad. But I'd sit in the lab and work in a hood and mix chemicals and do things like that, and it was really boring. Really boring, because there was nobody to interact with. Except when you went on like your coffee break or your break and you had lunch and then you could talk to people. So, then I moved back home and decided I did not want to work in a lab. And I said, well, what am I going to do? So, at the time, my fiance had been teaching. And she said, well, why don't you go and try out teaching? And I said, well, I don't want to be a teacher. I spent my whole life trying to get out of school. Why would I want to go back to school? So she said, just try it. So I tried. So I went and I got the teaching certifications, and I did the student teaching, and then I started teaching, and I really liked it. So then I thought about doing other jobs, but I decided that I really liked teaching, so I stuck with it.
How much homework do you give, and generally what is it?
I try to limit the homework to about 10 or 15 minutes a night. And I tell students if it takes them longer, they should probably see me because then they're having trouble. And a lot of times it's just review of what we did in class. So it could be problems in the textbook, it could be a worksheet, it could be to write something up.
How long have you been teaching?
For 13 years.
All science?
Yep.
How often do you give tests and quizzes?
I try to give at least 1 quiz a week, and then a test every 2 or 3 weeks.
Do you have any role models?
Do I have any role models? My parents are my role models.
Why?
Still. Why? Because I think that they made some good choices in life and that they're very respectful and honorable people, so I try to emulate their behavior.
What will the new 7th graders be learning?
What will the new 7th graders be learning next year? The same thing that the 7th graders this year are learning. Basically, it's life science, so it's a biology course.
If you weren't going to be a teacher, what would you have been?
I was taking interviews for pharmaceutical sales at one point, and I did go to school for pre-med, so originally I was going to be a doctor. I did look into chiropractic medicine and physical therapy for a while. When I first started out in college, I was an accountant major, so I was going to be an accountant. And I think that's all the jobs I ever thought about. I thought about being a veterinarian too, but I didn't never pursue that.
Do you have any advice for young people who want to have a career in teaching?
Do I have advice for young people who want to have a career in teaching? What would my advice be? Just to do well in school now, because you never know what you're going to be. So if you do well now, nobody can ever take that away from you. And if you go to school for teaching, they like to see that you did well in school, and they will look back into high school to see how you did as a high school student. How's that?
In your opinion, what is the best part of the 7th grade curriculum?
What's the best part?
Most fun for the students?
Most fun for the students? Probably the part on animals, because that's what they're most familiar with, so they find it easier and then they like it more. But we still learn new things.
What do you like best about Riverdale?
Just that it's so much like a big family. Everybody gets along, there's a strong sense of community, the kids are really nice.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to take an interview with us.
Oh, you're welcome.